Hi there, Campbell here from Breath Body Therapy. I wanted to talk about the different types of breath work, the different variations that we can practice. Now, if you type breathwork in, you'll find that there's a huge array of different methods, different forms, different styles. And each of these different styles have different benefits. But what's important to remember is that the principles behind your breath remain the same. So each of these different methods is using different parts of the breath to trigger a certain response from the body or nervous system or your physiology. And what I'd like to discuss and teach you is the sort of 4 easiest factors that you can learn to play with. So if you're just getting started on your breathwork journey, it's really easy to start sort of diving deep into one method, okay? And there's no problem with that, but the more you understand about how the breath works, the more able you are to sort of vary and modify and take breathwork and make it your own practice, okay? Because that's what this is, it's a practice, and it's really important for exploring your body, yourself, your mind, and having that understanding of what parts of my breath do I need to change to get a different response. So in my own practice and in my teachings, I've distilled it down to the 4 easy factors, okay, which we'll discuss here. So those 4 factors are rate, depth, rhythm, and tone. So rate of the breath is quite self-explanatory. It's how fast I'm breathing. The difference between me breathing at 5 breaths a minute and 50 breaths a minute is really, really huge. Okay, my nervous system will respond in a different way. So by playing with the rate of how fast or slow I breathe, this is the first mechanism we can use to change the response of the body. The second is depth. How deep do I breathe? At rest and throughout the day, I'm not using the full capacity of my respiratory system because I don't need to. So I have control of how much volume or how much air am I going to pull in and push out. So by playing with the depth, again, I'm modulating or changing the response of the body. So you can practice breathing it almost empty, okay, this tiny stream of air moving in and out, okay, almost silent. Or you can breathe at 100%, where it's this giant breath where you're almost breathing all the way up into the throat, creating as much space as you can between your hips and your pelvis and taking that up with air. Again, those 2 types of breath are very different and you'll get a different response. So play with how deep am I breathing and the location of the breath. The third is rhythm. Rhythm refers to the way that I breathe. Okay? And when I breathe in this particular type of rhythm, it allows my mind to sort of disconnect. Okay, I'm not thinking, I can just begin to follow this rhythmical in and out motion. So finding a rhythm is really important. Okay, and what that might look like, depending on what rate you're using, is having that inhale turn into the exhale, turn into the inhale, where I remove any pause or hesitation. Now, everyone's a little bit different, so you might need to move faster or slower, but you'll know when you hit what I call a sort of golden zone, okay, where it becomes almost effortless. The breath almost starts driving itself, okay? So your idea is that I want to fall into this easy, rhythmical, almost circular breathing. That can be fast or slow, but you're bringing balance to the nervous system by bringing balance to the branches of the breath. And the last is what I call the tone of the breath. Now, what I mean by the tone of the breath is the difference between a sob and a sigh. Okay? If you're breathing versus that's 2 really, really different messages to your nervous system. So ensuring that you're looking after the tone of your breath. If it's becoming too much and it's too intense, it's really important that we use almost a relaxed sigh, this tone of relaxation of to ensure that we're not redlining the nervous system. We're not pushing it too far into that stressed, anxious state by really breathing with this panicky tone. So I've seen a lot of people that when they get going and fast, it's okay, but to my nervous system, I'm under attack. I'm trying to run away from a threat or I'm fighting, okay? that might not be the goal that you're looking for. So it's important to remember that the way you breathe, the tone of your breath, is just as important as the speed, the depth, and the rhythm. So once again, those 4 easy factors for you to begin to play with is the rate, how fast I'm breathing, the depth, which is the volume of your breath, the rhythm, can I find that circular, ongoing motion, and the tone of the breath. Can I ensure that I'm sending a message of relaxation when I need it? What I invite you to do is play with each of these factors, okay, one at a time, and see what happens with your practice. You can apply this to any breath practice, any method, okay, and start looking at what happens when I start to adjust one or all of these factors. Campbell from Breath Body Therapy. I hope you enjoy.